in Chhattisgarh, with the Congress winning Chhattisgarh, a lot of noise being made about how it was indicative of things to come. I see here that the state and center separation does not exist. And I find it very interesting that you are projecting 10 seats for the BJP in November, and you suddenly sharply project 5 seats right now and go against your own conviction that state and central elections are not tallying, because here I see a 5-seat drop for the BJP. It doesn't make sense when I compare the overall trend in Madhya Pradesh. Yashwant, quick comment from you. I move on from Chhattisgarh.
Comment that the gap between the vote share of the Congress and the BJP has actually surprised not just me, but even the Congress people. You know,
is it an immediate aftermath?
Yeah, exactly. So that is why this projections are very much like that on the screen.
Okay.
And the gap has, I mean, there is a difference between the assembly and the voting behavior, but yes, Congress still manages the upper hand in Chhattisgarh, even in the Lok Sabha.
Okay, now let me go ahead from Chhattisgarh to Haryana. There are 10 seats. We need to move fast. Alimuddin Khan should be joining us in some time in Haryana. 10 seats in the kitty, and I actually am seeing 1 seat back to the BJP. Again, what's the logic here? We see
the
7
logic
seats
is simple,
for
that
the BJP and 3 seats for the Congress
Just like
party.
the Aam Aadmi Party meltdown in Punjab, we are watching a complete meltdown of INLD in Haryana. And that is a very interesting proposition, because the Jat voters are likely to go with the Congress, as the Jat leadership is with the Congress, but the non-Jat consolidation in favor of the BJP might carry them the day because of the fragmented opposition at large. So
this has nothing to do with Vadra, land deals,
this is nothing to do
farm
with
loan waivers.
It is simply the fragmentation of the opposition further in Haryana, which is helping the BJP to get this kind of tally in Haryana.
Okay, we are moving.
Otherwise, officially speaking, the tracker also shows that Haryana government itself is having a lot of
now we are going to the national capital. We go to the national capital, and in the national capital out here, Delhi. Bhai Baldeep, stay please. Majinder Singh Sirsa, let's look at the national capital. 7 seats in the fold, and we are seeing 7 seats to the BJP. But I think that if you saw Arvind Kejriwal's reaction to some events recently, it appears to me there's a Kejriwal-Congress alliance, because he was so defensive about it.
If that happens, I mean, kudos to them, because I would be, it is very important to see the vote share projection of Delhi, because that is something for the Congress leadership and Congress.
It's for solidly 42% for the BJP.
No, but look at the Congress vote share. For the first time in the last 3.5 years, the Congress has overtaken Aam Aadmi Party in terms of vote share.
Yeah.
And that is what is critical for them to understand.
No, but you said so.
This is a Congress
But it was so in October and November also.
Yeah, but if this is the Congress revival and they give it back on a platter to Aam Aadmi Party by going in an alliance.
Why wouldn't they? They would need the seats.
Well, of course,
individually they can't win.
If there is an Aam Aadmi Party Congress alliance, it could be very well 7-0 in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party Congress.
I also want to tell you that keep in mind Sajjan Kumar's conviction will have an impact on the Congress fortunes in Delhi. I want to go, it will have an impact. You may not, for you 1984 may not be important. For all Sikhs it is.
But
for all Sikhs it is.
Percentage of Sikhs is not really, even Punjabis in Delhi are of not. I mean, those days of Madanlal Khuranas, Punjabi Hindus and others, I think they are. It's a question. Nothing.
It's not only about the Sikhs. It's also about the Punjabis. It's about all residents who are most well-aware citizens in the country.
Yeah.
And you know, after this verdict, they know for a fact now that Congress was actually providing protection to criminals. And it has sent out a very strong message.
I have 5 more minutes. Jammu and Kashmir, 6 seats.
MP in Delhi is negotiating to join either Aam Aadmi Party or Congress. You're going to have a depletion in your ranks in Delhi.
Udit Raj, are you referring?
Yes.
Udit Raj is 1 minute. Udit Raj is a huge rebel internally. He's unhappy he's not got a ministry. For the last 6 months, anyone he meets, he's been loudly cribbing about it. That is hardly a surprise.
That BJP is the first choice in Delhi, and especially when they are voting to elect their Prime Minister. That is clear, man.
That can be a
Yeah, that could be one-way traffic, other way around.
Okay, 1 minute. Jammu and Kashmir, 6 seats, sharp analysis. BJP 2,
it's the
NC 4.
upswing. It is the National Conference upswing in the Kashmir Valley. Mehbooba Mufti down. BJP holding on to their Jammu region. But yes,
which means that Farooq Abdullah becomes a player in Delhi once again.
Very much possible. Be it the UPA, be it the Federal Front, whichever front that you may call it. But yes, there is an upswing in the fortune of the National Conference as far as
I would
Kashmir
not rule out Farooq Abdullah switching either way. politically after that. Farooq Abdullah, has he not been?
So?
Has the NC not been with the BJP
Yeah, that
before?
is true. But now, after all this,
Absolutely.
that would be quite exciting, I would say.
My own view on this matter is it's not exciting. It's the parties like the NC would not want to be out of power in Delhi for the next 5 years. So Uttarakhand, no ideology here. Uttarakhand 5 seats, Uttarakhand double anti-incumbency, all 5 seats go to the BJP, 49.7% vote share. Still lower than 55.3 in 2014, but completely safe there. Look at the number racing away.
Uttarakhand and Himachal, Uttarakhand and Himachal very much go hand in hand, almost in the same sentiment, even after the incumbency against the sitting governments, the state governments. Largely the Himachal and Uttarakhand are going one way at the moment for the BJP.
And the question in both these states is that the vote share of the BJP is close to 50%. I don't see any swings or possibilities here. Another state which is nicely consolidating for the BJP is the northeastern state of Arunachal Pradesh. And in Arunachal Pradesh, there are there are 2 seats, and Prema Khandu has consolidated the BJP, and BJP is strongly under the leadership of one leader for once.
The region of Northeast.
But Prema Khandu is also a super efficient leader.
Prema Khandu is super efficient. Yeah. He has
39 years
BJP.
Old.
Look at the vote share. The BJP is leading in double digits as far as the gap of the vote share is concerned. And by the way, it is very important to let the audience know that just like Orissa and just like Andhra, Arunachal is another state where the assembly elections will happen along with the parliamentary elections. So it is critical for them to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Goa, 2 seats out there, and we are seeing the BJP up its tally from 1-1. What is the reason for this? Congress is stuck at 38.5%.
Probably, could be a sympathy for Manohar Parrikar.
Who's been very active.
Look at the way, and he has been actively working or looking around. Could be a direct impact of that. It could be sympathy, but at the moment, in vote share...
But you have to give it to him.
But you have to give it to him the way he is working with the food pipe and everything around, the way critical is. There were few critical comments, by the way, Arnab, and I must say this, that, one may think like that, why is this person moving around? But nobody takes away the right of a cancer survivor on how he wants to deal with his life in these kind of critical moments.
I think
the guy wants to go down fighting. The guy wants to serve till his last breath for the country and his estate. He has all the rights to do that. He has all the rights to do that. And if one thing that everybody can learn from him is to go about doing your duty and your job till the last job.
I think Manohar Parrikar is a resolute individual, and I condemn all those people out here who have made personal comments on him, and Rahul Gandhi should be ashamed of himself for allowing his Rahul Gandhi should be ashamed of himself for letting his political party colleagues attack an individual who, while battling cancer, is working for the state. That's unfortunate. Manipur.
I think there
is only one thing from the Manohar Parrikar episode. Arnab,
political parties have a problem.
there is only one thing. Baiji, leave aside politics, everything. There is only one thing on Manohar Parrikar that can be said. One thing that we can take, and everybody should take, is basically...
Okay, I have 2 minutes left.